Hi, hello everyone. This is Sangratna Godbole. I am an assistant professor at NIT Warangal. So this work is done while I was postdoc at NUS Singapore. So today's topic is optimal MCDC test case generation. And here is my outline, introduction, background, some survey, MCDC example, proposed idea, followed by experimental results and conclusion. Okay. So this work is done within our TracerX group. So first is Professor Jackson Jaffer is a full professor. Another is Dr. Rasul. He was also my colleague postdoc. Now he is working as compiler engineer at Huawei, Toronto, Canada. And the last person is our research assistant, Mr. Dean. So here is our website you can access, and our system is open source. So basically, our work comes under programming languages and software system. So when we are talking about program analysis, so here is the confidence of, let's say, proving some evidence. So let's say uh, some discussion can be there that I know our project works, but another can say that no, you don't. Or one person can ask, you say your program works, but why should I believe you? So another person can say that, okay, once I did my program analysis, so I have the evidence to show you, like that. So program analysis can be framed as like executing the program with, let's say, without executing the program, that's a static program analysis. Second is during runtime, that's a dynamic program analysis. And in the last way that we can merge static as well as dynamic. So earlier use were the program optimization, and the modern uses are, let's say, verification, testing, debugging, synthesis, volumetric, and performance estimation. So the main thing is to ensure the correctness that the program will do what it's supposed to do. Now we have several coverage criteria like path coverage, MCDC coverage, and MCC coverage, statement coverage, dynamic coverage, and condition coverage. So the thing is, when we are talking about source code, testing code coverage of source code, then we are talking about MCDC coverage and MCC coverage. But when we talk about low level language in terms of execution tree, then we have. So this particular table can tell you from weakest to strongest, and here we can see statement coverage is the weakest criterion, whereas multiple condition coverage is the strongest coverage criterion. But here is the MCDC, which is second strongest coverage. We will see why it is so. So basically, MCDC stands for Modified Condition Coverage, and RTCA, which is Radio Technical Commission for Aeronautics, mandates for MCDC report for level A category software. So these are the requirements where whether, let's say, MCDC can satisfy or not. And after satisfying this requirement, one can ensure that 100% MCDC is actually achieved. Among these particular requirements, the last one is the most important, which says that every non-constant condition in a Boolean expression in the program has been shown to independently affect the expression output. Let's check with some example. So here is one discussion between two girls. Uh, I'm explaining this particular cartoon to show you the definition. So Lucy and Philippa had one discussion. So Lucy actually asked to Philippa what is MCDC. Then Philippa is actually asking her to imagine about a switchboard where it has three switches with bulb. So Philippa says that if you turn on or off with that one switch, it can affect the output of the bulb. So just like that, Philippa wanted to map it to MCDC with our programming MCDC. Then it says that bulb is your predicate and switches are nothing but your atomic condition. So after mapping, it can be framed like this, that once you toggle atomic condition, it can actually affect the outcome of your entire predicate. So this model proposed by Aditya Mathur, which actually this model says that both coverage and reliability are important. And you can see that if someone says that coverage is low and reliability is low, so the state is undesirable. And if reliability is high and coverage is low, the system is in, let's say, risky mode. And if coverage is quite high but reliability is low, that's a suspect model. So the expectation is your desirable, which says high coverage and high reliability. So that's why coverage is important. And we have MCDC as, let's say, second strongest coverage criterion, which actually generates n plus 1 number of test cases where n is atomic condition number. And MCC actually generates 2 to the power n test cases. So MCDC actually solves the problem of combinatorial explosion issue. Now, let's say we can see that MCDC is very much important in aircraft system. Like this picture says that a lot of softwares are there, a lot of controls are there, and there will be a lot of combinations that this fuel tank is there, then wings are there, then lights are there connecting to ATC. So for this such complex software, actually MCD is very much important. So DO178B as well as C and D1 and 278 are used to assure safety of avionics software. So there are some authorities, there are some body which actually approves the software by certifying the, let's say, the certificates. Now the question is whether MCTC is important for all type of software or not. The answer is no. MCTC is very much important for only level A category, which has the failure condition as catastrophic. Now there is a small survey, and here is a survey disclaimer before this. Yeah. So we did a small survey with industrial practitioners, and we had very small sample size. So our first question was whether MCDC is mandatory or not. So everyone says yes. Second was which domain actually has MCDC most popular. Then we got to know that avionics and automotive. Then we asked that whether all the, let's say, tools are, whether the tools are automatic or not. Then we got to know that 20% among the responses were the automated tool, and the rest were, let's say, 80% were non-automatic tool. So among that, we got to know that 33.33% tools are partially automatic. So which strategy they follow once they actually missing MCDC test cases? Then we got to know that 78.6% responses, the practitioners, they are actually using manual testing once their tool is not able to find missing MCDC test. Now the question is, there are a lot of commercial tools for generating MCDC test cases. Then which is the most popular tool for solving this let's say MCDC test case generation? Then 58.8% among the responses, we got to know that LDRA is quite good. Now our last question was whether the tools have, let's say, symbolic execution or not. Then we got to know that let's say 81.3% people says that no, they are not sure that whether their tool has, let's say, symbolic execution or not. Then we got to know also that 12.5% people says yes, they have symbolic execution. So this is the MCDC example where we can see that one predicate with 3 atomic condition, and we are actually satisfying the decision coverage let's say requirement here. So for this predicate, true and false both required. For this particular condition, every condition in the decision has taken all possible outcome at least one. For A, B, C, we have to check true and false for each and every condition. The last condition is like the last requirement is like this, that for each and every atomic condition we have to toggle by keeping the other condition as it is and then checking whether the output of predicate is getting changed or not. So here is an, let's say, example for MCDC, strict MCDC. This is without short circuiting actually. Then we can see that for this small predicate we have, let's say, 3 test cases, T1, TC1, TC2 and TC3, which are actually making A and B as important. So this is also example. Anyone can actually exercise this. So what is the solution? So solution is that you can actually plug dynamic symbolic execution with some marking, and then you can solve test case generation. Now the test case generation can be generated with this particular framework. So we have proposed one framework where we have sequence generator which does all the combination. After having sequences, we actually annotate in LLVM IR So you can see that from C program we generate LLVM IR, and our sequences, after generating sequences, we are trying to annotate both. So this particular is done by annotator. After updating LLVM IR, actually we are supplying it to dynamic symbolic execution, and the annotation is in the form of assertion. And when we supply it to dynamic symbolic execution, it actually reports the reachable, let's say, reachable assertions, and then we are claiming that they are actually feasible sequences. And now whichever not actually reached, but our program got finished, so we are actually proving them as infeasible sequences. Now we can see that for this particular predicate where we have 3 atomic conditions, so there are 5 sequences, and we can actually can generate from sequence generator. And this is the formula, the way how we can actually annotate the control program. Control program is your LLVM IR. So we formulated in the way that for false we can have k equal to k into 10 plus 2, and for true it is k equal to k into 10 plus 1. And if you have don't care condition, okay, you want to skip it, then you just only need to have k equal to k into 10. So at last you have assert function under each and every predicate, and you can have, let's say, assertion violation. If violation happened, then you can say that the sequences were feasible. Now how to do that? The first idea is to generate with dynamic symbolic execution. So the thing what actually I explained, that getting all the sequences and supplying it to dynamic symbolic execution and reporting all reachable, let's say, assertions, means assertion violation happen, then you can say that those sequences actually can generate test input. Okay. So we can supply it to dynamic symbolic execution, the state of art with CLI. Okay. Now the second is the second point is that dynamic symbolic execution with interpolation. So what is this? So let's say you have one example where you have two symbolic states S0 and S1. So how CLI works? CLI has to explore the tree under S1. So this S0 and S1 both are same program point. S0 already got traversed, and for S1 also need to traverse in CLI. But let's say the system which actually obeys interpolation, so after traversing S0, so you can compute some interpolant formulas, and after coming from S1 you can have, let's say, context. So when the context and interpolation generated, full interpolant generated at S0, if both implies to each other, then you can say that no need to traverse the another subtree, and you can subsume this entire dash framework. Now the thing is, our particular this work is done with the dynamic symbolication with custom interpolation, because our annotations are customized and we are actually getting good performance with uh, custom interpolation. So we generate custom interpolation in our, let's say, version. So how we do that? So this is a small program where you can see that if a is less than 0, then you have b equal to 3 and another formula, right? Now this execution tree is quite complex. Here just we wanted to show that we have 5 sequences. We have 5 sequences at the moment. Just we do for predicate, because MCDC is actually required only for predicate. So here you can see that orange dash actually says that no need to traverse the tree under 5b, because it is already been traversed in actually node number 5a. So whatever the targets or, let's say, assertions we found below 5a is actually already covered, and no need to search for 5b. So the huge subtree under, let's say, 5b already got covered. So because of this, actually we are actually getting good performance. So we experimented with some program, and our baseline was a dynamic symbolic execution, that's CLI. So we divided our experiment in 3 groups. So our timeout was 1 hour, and our memory out was 32 GB RAM. So in group 1, CLI as well as our system both finished the program. In group 2, we finished, but baseline could not. And in group 3, neither baseline and we finished. Okay. So we extended time for another 1 hour. So I will explain you that. So in group 1, you can see that we have 5 program, and among 5 program, you can see that very minor difference we have within between CLI and TracerX. For TCAS, CLI actually finished in 4.9 and our method finished in 6, and in Zodiac 1.2 and 1.1, and in Nishnu baseline finished in 257 second, and we finished in 1700 second. Okay, so this is quite let's say bad result for us, because we took 1700 second and Nishnu to 257, but uh, reason behind this is Nishnu has a lot of infeasible path. So if a program has a lot of infeasible path, so our system can hamper this and we will not have that much good power. But as soon as the program gets bigger and less number of infeasible paths we have, still we will have, let's say, good number of numbers. So let me explain you the table. So first column is program, second column is line of code, third column has 3 triplet. First one is hash p, that is total number of predicate, total number of condition, then total number of sequences. For baseline, we have, let's for this column, we have hash t, that is a total execution time. F hash f is total number of feasible sequences. Hash I is total number of infeasible sequences. Hash u is total number of unknown sequences. So feasible sequences mean assertion violation happened. So those are feasible sequences. I is assertion violation did not happen. It means that and program got finished. Then we can claim that okay, they are actually infeasible sequence. Unknown sequence is that we don't know whether they are feasible or infeasible sequences, right? So you can see that for PALS 3 program we finish, and for P28S program we finished, and 1487 second we took, and baseline took 33.4. So slowly we are actually getting good result. Now let us move to another group where we can see a good result. We can see. So definitely, if we finish for all the program and baseline could not, it means we are superior. But how much we are superior, you can actually check with the total number of feasible as well as infeasible sequences. So let's say for this first program, CLI has 7 feasible sequences, whereas we have 79 feasible. Huge difference actually. And for the last program, let's say P31, only CLI has 2 feasible sequences, but we have, let's say, 109 feasible sequences, and we proved 602 infeasible sequences. So the time difference also, you can see that for Psycho 1 program actually CLI took infinity, that's a 1 hour time, and we just finished in 47 seconds. So it's a huge actually difference. Now for the third group, we can see that neither we finish nor our method finish in 1 hour. Then we extended, and after extending 1 hour time, let's say for 2 hours time, so baseline still did not finish, and we finish, let's say, with some margin time. And for Pulse 1 program, actually we could not finish also. But here you can see that feasible sequences we achieved was 37, and baseline achieved only 30. So at least 7 sequences we covered more than this. So whenever we don't have good time, but still we are actually having better feasible sequence number. So after this experimental results and our proposed technique, so we can conclude that idea of generating test input for MCDC using dynamic symbolic execution is very useful. Custom is clearly superior and by a significant margin. In particular, custom terminates on most of our example while baseline do not. Furthermore, we have observed that as the programs get larger in size of symbolic execution tree, the gap between our method and baseline approaches widens. So hence program analysis and testing is a recent trend in software testing domain, and it should be in testing. So there are some references I have referred. Yeah. And this is the disclaimer, and I forget to mention one thing, that our benchmark actually we took from SVCOM and RERS. Okay. So this is a disclaimer. Thank you, and I will be happy to take some question during our live session. Thank you very much.